Hey, this is Leslie. I have a vision I need to share. Um, I had a vision that I saw a person who looked like Tyson Beckford. If you don't know who that is, he's a model, and he was very popular for modeling, like in the '90s. But really, I saw like his lips more so than his entire face. The person had a hood on, and they had lips very much like his, and I saw his lips kind of in what I thought was a seducing type of smile. But as I continued to like look and go through the vision, I saw that he had a salt and pepper beard, and the beard was growing long and thick. And I saw the lips again, and I realized it wasn't a seducing smile. It was more of like a smirk of being sure. I know that's kind of weird to explain, but I knew that this person was wise, but it was also kind of like shrouded in mystery, if that makes sense. And I could tell that the person was actually older than they really looked. He had very smooth brown skin, and the hood that he was wearing was a part of like a long robe. It was like a dark forest green, and I knew that he was an assassin. He had a wooden stick, a large wooden stick for fighting, kind of like a martial arts type of stick. And he was very, kind of like very agile with it. Like this was his weapon of choice, if you will. Like he was very well versed in how to use it. I saw him twirling the stick like he was ready to fight. But again, he was smirking and smiling, but it was because he knew that his opponent wasn't ready for him. It was kind of like if you've ever seen one of those martial art movies, and the person or the fighter is basically kind of like telling the person, like, come at me, like with their hands, like calling them forth because they know, like, I'm ready for the fight, but you're not. And what God was saying to me about this is that there is a battle. Yeah, this is what I wrote down, that he said there's a battle that is about to ensue. The battle is about to start, and it won't look like what you've been expecting or anticipating. The people that you assume didn't belong to God have been his sleeper cells and assassins, just waiting on the call, waiting on the signal this whole time. And now they have been activated and put into the game, and you will see the game was always rigged in my favor from the beginning, says God. Try as he may, the enemy was never going to be able to match God's warriors even a little bit. The enemy shoots darts, and the warriors I have will combat him with what many would say are primitive weapons, but it doesn't take much to fight a defeated foe. You don't have to beat a dead horse. One round, not 12. One blow, not many. This will be fun, like a sport to my warriors. This will be like simple training. They will say, bring us the real fighters, like how Goliath laughed at David. I, the Lord, will have the last laugh. The enemy thought he was so cunning, so wily, so smart. He thought he couldn't be defeated, that he would beat me in the end. He thought that I, once his very father, would end up the loser and he the victor. It shows how he never knew me at all. He never knew me. He knew of me. He saw what I possessed and wanted it, craved it, lusted after it. But it will never be his. My glory I will never share with another. It's not in my nature. I am he who was, is, and is to come. I won't be taken for a fool. I won't be boxed or left on display as if I'm unworthy of my name and title. I'll come out boxing. I'll come out fighting when the enemy least expects it, and he will be surrounded and confronted by my warriors on all sides. They will take him over before he can cry out. They will be my merciless mercenaries, says the Lord. There will be nothing and no one to stop them. God's raising up an army. He already has an army of people, of assassins, of snipers, sleeper cells, people that we least expect. Yeah, I even hear, people that we least expect. It makes me think of Tyson Beckford, someone out of Hollywood, someone who's a model, someone who you would least expect to be an assassin and a warrior for God, especially Hollywood. We deem people in Hollywood to all be satanic and to be in cults and things of that nature. But God says that He's raising up something. He's raising up an army out of the people that you would least expect, the people that we've cast aside, the people that we deem unworthy or unfit, the people who have been the what is it called? The word like the runt of the litter, if you will, or the at the end of the pack, so to speak, not the leaders, not the ones who've been in line, been in power, been in the front, not the people who've been the voice, if you will, or the face, if you will. He's raising up his remnant. He's raising up an army from behind the scenes. And these people, when he raises them up, they're going to be merciless mercenaries. They're going to fight for the kingdom of God in ways that you would have never thought, you would have never believed. You'll be so shocked and in awe when you see these people and how, I hear the word staunchly they defend the gospel, staunchly they defend God, and they're going to fight even to the death for God. Like, what is it? For God I live and for God I die. Like, they're going to be so sold out, and He's going to just start raising them out of nowhere, or it was going to seem like out of nowhere to us. Just like He's raising up so many, like, prophetic voices and things of that nature. God is just raising up His end time warriors, and He's doing it now. And if you know that God is calling you deeper into the faith, deeper into, assignment for Him, there's a couple of different words that I keep hearing, and one of them is ambassador. He's calling many of us to be ambassadors, and I used to think like, here people were just coming up with all these different words to give themselves titles, but no, God really is calling us to be ambassadors, someone who speaks on behalf of or who represents a country or, a governmental unit or something like that. God is calling us to be His ambassadors, to speak for Him. We are His mouthpieces. We are His merciless mercenaries. Whatever your role is, whoever He's called you to be in this hour, stand up and be that for God. He needs more ambassadors. We are also like ambassadors, also the welcoming crew. That's what I feel like God is saying. Like, when you are an ambassador, you invite people in, you welcome them into whatever like a country. I'm standing here as a representative for this foreign country, and I'm giving you safe passage into. I'm welcoming you. I'm inviting you into this thing. God has set many of you up to be ambassadors, to invite those who are foreigners into this kingdom, into His country. And so we have to accept the call. And many of us who think that we don't have a dog in the fight, many of us who think, how could I be a mercenary? How could I be an assassin? You're going to be so surprised. God's going to give you the skills to be a sharpshooter in His kingdom. You are going to shoot down every attack of the enemy with the word of God, by the Spirit of the living God. Not by power, not by might, but by His Spirit, says the living God. He's going to allow His Holy Spirit to come on you in a way that's going to amplify His voice, and in a way that is going to, you are going to be so on fire for God. It's going to scare even you. You're not going to realize that this power that you have inside of you, where it comes from, but it's coming from God. It's coming from the Lion of Judah. I'm kind of mixing some stuff that I feel like He's been saying to me right now. He's been telling me there's a roar restore that's coming from the Lion of Judah that is going to be so deafening we won't even be able to. It's going to be mind-boggling. We think that the enemy, because the Bible says that he walks about like a roaring lion, but the real lion, the real roar is coming from the Lion of Judah. The enemy is a toothless lion, and he's lying. Okay, he's lying about who he is. And Jesus, the Lion of Judah, who is also the Lamb, we take the fact that he's, a lamb, meek and mild and quiet, to mean that he doesn't have a roar, and he has a vicious, terrible roar of restore that's coming, and he's about to crack the sky. And when you hear that roar, it's a clarion call to get ready. God says that you do not want to be in front of that roar. You don't want to be the focus of that roar. I hope all of this is making sense. You don't want to be in front of that roar of restore. You want to be behind him. You want to be a part of the heavenly host that's coming with him when he comes back. He's coming on a chariot. He's riding in, ready for battle, ready, prepared to fight. We always talk about God as a God of love, and yes, he is, but he's also a man of war, Jehovah Gabor. He's a man of war, and he's ready to restore us. He has a roar of restore, and when the Lion of Judah comes in, he's going to roar, and it's going to be like something we've never heard of before. It's a clarion call. It's like a sounding of an alarm, and when that alarm gets sounded, all of those sleeper cells, all of those assassins and snipers, ambassadors that God has here that we've thought so little of or that we've discounted, they are going to wake up, and they're going to start roaring as well. They're going to be ready for battle immediately. And you do not want to be one of the people that is not ready for battle and has been walking opposite to what God, has called you into. You want to be on that winning team. You want to be on that fighting team. You want to be a part of that heavenly host that's going to fight against the enemy, okay? I would hate for you to be one of those that the Lord Jesus is going to be coming against. There's going to be nothing that those people are going to be able to do. They'll try to hide under rocks, and they won't be able to. There'll be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I keep it, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's going to be a fearsome and terrible day. And you want to be behind the Lion of Judah. You want to be on his team. You want to be one of the ones who he says, go out for battle and fight, because there's no way you're going to lose. Absolutely no way that we're going to lose. God has already won this thing. It's been predestined since before the beginning of time. I hope this makes sense, but this is the word.